Hello everyone, welcome to AI Anytime channel. In today's video, we are going to build a chatbot using open source language model. Yes, so we are going to build a Streamlit chatbot on top of open source language model, and we are going to again use Langchain, ChromaDB, sentence transformer and Lamani language model. So this is going to be our tech stack, okay, behind this chatbot. So in my previous video, I have used Lamani LM and a similar tech stack to build a question and answering tool over your PDF file. So you can watch that video because that video is a prerequisite for this video. Okay, so if you want to build this chatbot, you should watch the previous video because I'm going to take 99% of the code base from that video. Okay, because none of the things get changes. We are going to use Streamlit chat in this video and how we can look at the conversation memory, for example, okay, to have a interactivity on the interface so you can ask follow-up question. Okay, and we are not going to use any OpenAI API keys or Pinecone as a vector database, for example. This is completely going to be open source tech stack. So this is what we are going to do. So let's jump in. So if you currently see, I am on my YouTube channel AI Anytime, and this is the video that I was talking about. Search your PDF app using Langchain, ChromaDB and Open Source LLM. Okay, so I have, you can see this video is more than an hour. Okay, it's around 64 minutes 48 seconds, right? So it's a very long video, and I have covered theoretical aspect in that video. Okay, the entire workflow. I'm not going to cover any of this theoretical concept in this video, right? I'm just going to start writing the code. I'll take the code base and I'll just explain that how I'm using Streamlit chat, a library to build this chatbot. This is what I'm going to do. So you can watch this video. You can see this search your PDF app. I'll give this link in the description as well. Okay. Now we are going to use Streamlit chat, which is a Python library for basically as an Streamlit component for a chatbot UI. So the creator is AIS. The entire credit goes to him and he deserves all the credit, and that's how we strengthen the open source community, guys, right? We have to work together, and that's how we'll win this race, right, in open source community, because now it's a war between open source and closed source, right? So the credit goes to AIS for creating this library, and you can see this is how it looks like. Okay, you have a minimal chatbot interface. Now of course you are doing some project, you can use a React front end, you can use Bootstrap or HTML or Vue or whatever front end that you have, you can create that, and but the backend kind of remains the same. Okay, if you want to use Fast API, for example, or Flask, for example, or Django, for example, that your choice. You can take this and use, but I'm going to rely on Streamlit because that helps me write, basically create it faster and without much of putting effort, right? That's what I'm going to do in this video. So this is the Streamlit chat that we'll use, and we'll take most of the code base from our previous video, as I just said, right? But I'll explain that on a high level, that what I'm going to do. So if you come here, I have a this GitHub repository called Search Your PDF App. That's what I'm going to basically use in this video. We'll take the code base from there and we'll write some extra additional code in this one. Okay, I'm also going to use this GitHub repository where I will take the code for Streamlit chat and this display conversation. So we are going to display the conversation. You can also ask follow-up question. Okay, we will not make any changes when it comes to the Langchain chain. Okay, if you are if you want to explore, you can explore conversational buffer memory, you can explore that, but I have tried it out and I haven't seen any changes, so I'm not going to basically change my chain from retrieval QA to conversation chain. Okay, I will again rely on retrieval QA for this task as well, okay, from PDF. Now this is on the code basis. So let me show you what we have done in the previous video. This is how the folder structure looks like. Let me just show the folder structure for you. This is our folder structure, guys. You see, I haven't changed the folder name yet. It's called local LLM search. That's the previous video folder, and we have all the files. What are the files we have? We have the first thing called docs. Inside docs, we have a PDF file which called climate action fast facts. It is by UN SDGs, and this is a PDF I have taken, right? It has something related to climate change, and I want to create my chatbot, and that chatbot will help me interact and retrieve or ask question related to this document. That's what I'm going to do. So this is our source document. Inside a folder called docs, you can rename it, with like source document or something, which is what PrivateGPT uses, as a folder name. Source document, you can also change it accordingly. Now what we have done then, okay, we have 3 files, and let me go back to VS Code. The first is we are defining some constants. This is basically the configuration for ChromaDB. So ChromaDB is a vector database. Okay, you have it. Why are we using vector databases, guys? Right, it helps you convert the values, the data from high dimensional space to lower dimensional spaces, right? And that has a lot of inbuilt algorithms, semantic search capabilities, cosine similarities, TF, IDF, or whatever, and it's pretty faster as well, and will help you, basically create generative AI based solution that you can scale with vector databases. That's why we are using a vector database. This has been asked in many of the interviews recently, for generative AI, for AI consultant or AI developer position, guys. Now we are defining some chroma settings. We are looking at the DuckDB plus Parquet. So Parquet is basically kind of a, I'll say again, it's a file format, but it's a data structure kind of a thing, right? That you store your embeddings in this format. Okay, so Parquet, and we are looking at DB, which is the folder here. You can see DB, which is our persist directory, basically where we save our embeddings and indexing and everything, metadata, for example. And anonymized telemetry equals to false. We are not tracking it in terminal, by the way, okay, on the telemetry thing. That's what we have defined over here. Now the next thing is called ingest py. This is for data ingestion. You have documents, you have a directory. So what it does, all the imports have been done using Langchain again. Langchain again comes to rescue here. Okay, does all the heavy lifting for us. PDF loader, directory loader, text splitter, and then again we are using sentence transformer, which is an open source model for embeddings. Okay, again for other tasks as well, semantic search, translation, etc. So we are using sentence transformer embeddings to create embeddings from documents that we load from our directory using PyPDF or PDF miner. And once we have the embedding, let's save that embeddings using Chroma, and that's what we are doing here, and saving it inside this DB folder. Now if I show the DB, I already have ran this ingest.py. I have executed this file in my previous videos, and I have created all these embeddings. You can see a couple of Parquet files, and then we have index, which will have UID, metadata, for example, index and all. We have already performed this step, so I'm not going to perform this in this video. Please watch the previous videos if you want to perform step by step. You can do that from there. Now we have already written the code for question and answering. You can see the entire thingy over here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to create a file called chatbot.py. So let me do that, chatbot.py. And once I have chatbot.py, I'll just use this entire code base. So let me come on app.py, let me do a control A, control C. And once I do that, I will come on this chatbot.py, I'll just paste it over here. So let me just quickly explain what we are doing here. So we have imported everything. You can see from the libraries, and then the models, we have downloaded all the model weights and the required files in our local directory. Because it's not that big, you can download it and inference it on your CPU machine. Then we have our LLM pipeline, where we define a pipeline text to text generation. Okay, we have model and tokenizer, and we are setting a maximum length of 256 as an output tokens, number of max length of tokens. We have temperature and top P, for example, temperature for creativeness and randomness. Okay, then we use Hugging Face pipeline because we have to pass that through a pipeline. So we are using Hugging Face pipeline, and we're returning that local LLM. Okay, so this kind of functions contains our language model there. Okay, then we have one more function called QA LLM. Basically, what are we doing here? We are again loading that model. We are getting that embeddings from Chroma, and then we are using retriever chain. Okay, from Langchain, we are passing LLMs, we are creating a chain. We have a chain type as stuff. You can again use MapReduce and if something else you want to use. And then we are returning source documents true. Maybe we can use that or not. It's not required, but it's okay, right? That's what we're gonna do here. And then process answer and metadata. For we have just done some pre-processing on the output because we need the output in the right way. So we are getting answer which kind of holds the answer, and generated text kind of holds the metadata, also the source citations, for example. Now let's make some changes, guys. So what I'm gonna do here in this case is, okay, I'm just gonna go inside this, one of my repository. Let me just go back, okay, on AI anytime, okay, in repositories, and I'll just go inside this, and I'll just come here on chatbot py, and I'm just gonna use couple of things from here, and I'll explain that why are we using. So I'm just gonna copy this display conversation, and I'm just going to paste it after this display conversation. And the next thing is that I'm going to use this entire thing over here. So let me just use it, and I will just remove everything from here. Okay, let me just, for example, let's also copy the user input where we are passing a key input which is a text input, and in this we have a text area, so it's better just use it. So I'm not making a lot of changes here, guys, because in the previous videos, which is more than an hour, I have explained everything. So I just hope that I'm just going to explain that how it's going to work, and you can take the entire code base and run it in your system. Okay, so if you see here, what are we doing? Okay, we have a function called display conversation that kind of looks at the history and display it on your Streamlit interface. Okay, so it's looking at your generate. So basically we have two things, past and the generated. So one is the previous one, and once that it generates in that runtime or the real time, right? That's what we are doing, and we are appending it here. So if you come down, so first we are initializing the session state, okay, in Streamlit for generated responses and past messages. So generated response, for example, if I ask a question, what is climate change? So it will generate a response. So that's called generated responses, and the previous messages when I ask the next question. So that becomes the previous question. So let me show what I'm talking about here. So I'll go back to my directory, I'll open up pictures. Yes, this one. So if you see, ignore this conversational memory for now, okay, but this just look, right? So this is my question, okay, interesting, what was it I wanted to know about again, and this becomes your past messages that you have asked follow-up questions right after that. So this is basically what we are doing in this case. If you come here on the code, so first initialize the session. So if generated not in st.session state, Streamlit session state, then I'm ready to help you. Will see this on the interface, and then it search the database for a response based on user input and updates. It basically append that, okay, here on this state, and then basically we are using this function called display conversation. I have shown this exact in my this video. If you come on this video where it goes, this one, ChatGPT like chatbot. So I have used the same function and same code base, okay, and I'm wearing the same t-shirt as well, by the way. So we have combined couple of code bases and we have come up with this, but this is completely open source. In here, if you see, I'm using Deep Lake. Okay, so when I'm using Deep Lake, or this one, sorry, by the way, not this chatbot with memory, this one. So if you see, we are using Deep Lake, where we are using their API keys, and also here what we are doing, we are not using any API keys in this code. So let's do one thing. Let me just save it, and I'm gonna open my let me just go back to directory here, guys. So I'm just gonna go inside desktop local LLM. I'm just gonna open in terminal, and I am on Anaconda. I'm just gonna activate my environment. So Conda activate deep learning. So this is what I'm going to activate, and now I'm just going to do Streamlit run chatbot.py, and now you can see this is what I'm running, and it should open a chatbot interface. Okay, let's see that. It says name message is not defined. So let's see, display conversation. Let me just see that. Okay, I'll come back here. Okay, I haven't imported Streamlit chat message, so let me just do that, guys. I'm just gonna go anywhere I want. For example, if I take it from here itself, message, I'm just going to copy it from Streamlit chat import message that we have installed Streamlit chat, right, on the requirements. Now if I go back, I do a rerun here, for example. Now you can see the interface, right? Let me just so this is about the app. So this is the generative AI powered question and answering app. Let me just do one thing, make a couple of changes here quickly. It doesn't look nice, so I'm just gonna make this about the chatbot. So about the chatbot, and I'm gonna make this as, so this becomes chatbot. Search your PDF. No, so let's call it chat with your data or something. chat with your data, and a lot of videos have been created, guys, on this topic. But there are very few videos which are completely open source, and there are some by Sam Witterman, or I forgot his name. He's doing a great job currently. Okay, and there are other YouTubers as well who has created. So kudos to them. Thank you so much, guys. You have inspired me to create this video as well. So if you come down, let's do an Alt G here. This is the generative AI powered chatbot. Let me just call it a chatbot here. Chat bot that responds to questions about your PDF file. This looks nice, so let's just go ahead with it, and I'm gonna come back and do a rerun again. So when I do a rerun, you will see that there will be some changes on the interface. It says chat with your data, and then about the chatbot, and then we have an expander. By the way, this is called Streamlit expander. Let me ask a question. I'm going to ask, what is climate change? This is my first question, and let's see that what kind of response we get, or we are getting any error here, guys. So it might take little time, guys, because it kind of runs on a CPU machine, but it's pretty fast, right? It takes around 10 seconds. You can see, right? So climate change is a natural process where temperature, rainfall, wind, and other elements vary over decades or more. So this is the first response that we have got, and this is our question: what is climate change, right? And these are default, right? Just to look at the generated and past that we're talking about. So this is our generated, and this remains past. Okay, now if I ask a question, the next question, for example, tell me more about it. And this is my next question, tell me more about it. So what it will do, it will look at your previous response and it should generate some similar response, because I'm asking tell me more about climate change, for example. So this is what it's going to do in this response, guys. And for this response, the previous response becomes as past. So you can see it's taking a little time. And we are running on a CPU machine, but if you have better infrastructure, you can get better responses, faster responses. You can see it's connection error. It's Streamlit still running, excellently stopped. I think there is some problem with the cache. I think it's still okay, I think it has been killed. So let me just rerun it. I'm just gonna rerun this. It might due to might have been killed automatically due to the memory issues, but I'm just gonna ask this question here. So what is climate change again? And you can see it's a natural over decades or more. I'll just ask a question, tell me more about it. You can see it's running here on top on the right hand side, and it should generate some response for you. Okay, and then because we have asked a follow-up question related to it, so let's see that. You can see it shows like climate change is caused by increasing greenhouse gas emissions from human activity. So it is able to retrieve, so it's able to capture the semantics behind this prompt, or semantics behind this question that I have asked, tell me more about it. It's able to capture that. I'm not saying okay, tell me more about climate change. I said tell me more about it. So it learned from this previous response. Now this becomes the past. Okay, so if you come over here, this becomes the past, and this new one becomes the generated one. Okay, that's how it basically works. And we are still using retrieval QA, but again you can use conversational chain, for example, as well. So this is on it. But if I am using a 16 GB RAM here in CPU, and we are utilizing CPU here, if it might runs on 8 GB as well. I have tried on 8 GB, it was working perfectly fine. Totally depends how many apps you have opened, and if you can track it on your task manager and see that you should turn off couple of compute heavy applications. Let's ask, right, how does climate change affects people? Okay, this is my question. Okay, now let's see if it generates. If it crashes, it's completely fine. We'll move with the conclusion there, guys. So let's ask this question. Now this is my next question. How does climate change affects people? Okay, now I'm asking this. So if you see, it's running on the right hand side top. Okay, that's how it shows the Streamlit status message. Now if you come down, you can see now, okay, climate change affects people. Okay, this is fantastic, not at all hallucinating. It's from the source document. You can also print that source document if you want. Okay, so climate change affects people in diverse ways, including intense droughts, water scarcity, severe fires, rising. This is amazing, guys, right? You can see how we have built a chatbot, and you can also Let me see how it looks in the light background kind of a thing. Okay, light theme. And you can see this is the chatbot that we have built, chat with your data. Okay, we have combined couple of videos. So what videos we have combined? We have combined this video, which is more than an hour video. If you want to learn, guys, end to end, this is the video for you. Okay, which is around 65-minute video. You can watch this. We have combined this video with chatbot with memory. We have taken this code basis and we have built this chat with your data. Okay, with completely open source generative AI models right there. So this is what I wanted to do in this video, guys, to be honest. And I wanted to create a simple chatbot for you. Maybe you can extend this, of course, with use fast API as a backend. I will recommend to use fast API as a backend, and then use React, for example. That's called farm stack. Okay, fast API, React, MongoDB. You can use that tech stack to build a fascinating, an interesting chatbot with these models. So this is how it looks like, guys. Okay, I hope you enjoyed it. The code base will be available on my GitHub repository, AI Anytime's GitHub repository. Please watch this previous video as well. Okay, and let me know what interesting things you are doing with this kind of chatbots. Okay, please let me know your thoughts and feedback in the comment box. Okay, so I hope you like the video. Okay, if you like the video, please hit the like icon, and if you haven't subscribed the channel yet, please do subscribe. That will help me motivate more videos in near future. Okay, please share the video and channel with your friends and to peer. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one, guys.